Hello there, and welcome to the Right Click Save podcast. I'm, as always, your host, Calcio. Joining me on his own today is Jimmy T. How are you today, Jim?
I'm good. Look, I've managed to claim this side of the studio. I think when I originally designed it, I was meant to be over here, but because we've had a guest on every episode since the beginning, I've had to come over and sit on the Newcastle side, which isn't the best. But so I'm glad to have claimed my side, even if I have to claim it with my croaky ETH Denver flu voice that I've got going on.
Feels good to be on the black and white side, though, Jimmy T, of the Newcastle. No? You don't enjoy it?
No, it's also the meme side you've got over there, and
Yeah.
you are on the meme wall. But I've come over to actually hang on. Does this mean that I'm back being a guest on my own podcast again?
Yeah, I'd have you as a guest. I don't want to pay you.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do an episode really just kind of rounding up our experience at ETH Denver, just generally chatting over meeting for the first time, and just how everything really went with what was our first NFT event that we'd been to in real life. First impressions, Jim, of Calcio, of ETH Denver when we actually got there. First impressions, how did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I loved ETH Denver. It was kind of like the vibe I was looking for. I was excited to go. Basically, I spend a lot of my life talking about cryptocurrency and NFTs to people who just literally don't give a shit about it, and a lot of the time will roll their eyes or look away or try and change the subject, which is fair enough. I talk about it a lot. As it was nice to actually, I found my people. I was there and I was able just to chat to everyone about everything crypto. I probably even managed to bore a few people at ETH Denver. It was great.
It was, to be fair, really nice for me actually to see you so gassed on just being able to have chats that weren't forced or conversations that were enjoyable, right? Like the biggest thing in life, or one of the biggest things, it's a broad statement, is being able to talk to people about something that you're all passionate about. And I think one of the things that, as someone that isn't a crypto native, and obviously I'm now well immersed in everything to do with crypto and love it. One of the biggest things for me was looking at someone like yourself who'd been for 5-6 years involved in the space and just having the opportunity to see how nice it was when everyone around you is so excited to talk about it as well.
I mean, yeah, even our Uber driver on like the first day, we told him where we're going and he was telling us about his NFT project. So, I mean, I definitely found the right place to go. I guess, is Denver the Silicon Valley for NFTs?
I'm still going to sway with LA, to be fair. I reckon that's where it gets pretty bougie. I reckon that's where all the hype's going to be. But again, it's nice to see, I think, these hubs of communities growing up all over the place and just sprouting up. And I think that obviously ETH Denver's predominantly an Ethereum convention as opposed to an NFT convention. But we still did get a lot of really nice conversation in there with a lot of different people about NFTs and how... I think one of the biggest focuses was there was a lot of teams building... When I say proper projects, I mean that they weren't just profile picture that's cute. They were building something more without that being condescending, of course.
Yeah, I think if you live on NFT Twitter, I think it very much can seem like the NFT space is profile pictures and rugs. But then as soon as you go somewhere where you're actually talking to the tech guys and it's a little bit more crypto based, you actually realize the real kind of additional use cases that NFTs are being used for. And it's sort of there's a whole additional rabbit hole there for everyone to kind of burrow in.
Yeah, and that was definitely a takeaway we had. One of the best connections that we actually made whilst we were out there was a project called Nemus that focused entirely on creating something that wasn't about hype, that wasn't about just creating a narrative that was, here's a profile picture that's got pastel colours, that's cute, let's make it bang. You know, they want to do the exact opposite and try to create traction for their project organically, which was really nice to see. And I think that obviously you can talk far more on Nemus because you spent a lot of time with their founders. But I think that for me as well, it was a nice refresher as someone who's really, really in love with the NFTs concept and the market and everything like that. It was really nice to see totally different, genuine projects coming out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was theirs is a project which is about protecting the Amazon rainforest and sustainable farming, and it's not a project that you would buy to flip for profit. And it's not a project that they're buying a fake load of Twitter followers and Discord bots to try and promote. They're doing it through building genuine partnerships in the space. Like, for example, Zeneca has just come on and done a massive partnership with them for the Zen Academy. There's a couple of other things that I know they've got in the pipeline that they haven't announced yet that are huge and could be really big for their project. But they're really looking for people that are looking to invest and build in their project. And yeah, I spent most of ETH Denver actually with the founders. We hit it off. We're good friends. Been chatting to them loads since I came back still, and we've got plans to meet up again. NFT NYC.
I think as well, one of the big takeaways for me was just how I didn't come across a single person that was shitty. And that isn't to say there wouldn't have been shitty people. There's shitty people everywhere. But certainly within my week in Denver, there wasn't any interaction I had that was negative. There wasn't any interaction I had where I came away feeling like I'd been sort of talked down to, or that anyone was anything but just quite pleased to be there. Really,
the vibe
was nice.
So good. Like, it was so good, and you could literally just chat to anyone, and that's what I really, really loved about it. Literally, I've made so many connections from people that I just met in the queue, standing in line for anything. I spoke to most people. It was the one thing I've been to where I didn't mind standing in line for like 2 hours or something, because that's where I had some of the biggest deep dives into crypto. That's where I met Nemus. That's where I met a load of UK guys for crypto that I've now got contact details for. Also met I mean, geez, like the first day we were standing in the queue for the lift and we met Song a Day Man, Jonathan Mann, who I've been following his Twitter content for ages. I remember I told you, I was like, oh my God, it's Song a Day Man.
It was just really refreshing to be somewhere that was non-attitudey, because at the end of the day, you're probably going to be pound for pound in the room with more millionaires than you are on the average day, right? And a lot of these guys are self-made. They are all girls, of course. They're people that are self-made, right? They're not necessarily just given money. So there's a real easy way for them to be super arrogant or negligent of conversation with others that they can't see immediate value in. But actually, the opposite vibe was exactly what I felt, and I think they in turn actually really lends to the rest of the space as well. If you find the right people. Someone that we've kind of championed throughout is Toby Lasso, and I think he really does make that sentiment so true.
We love Toby.
He's now had 2 successful project launches with Letters and Weather Report, despite the controversy, and I don't want to go into that, but and so he's very easy for him to not put time into talking to anyone. But there are so many people who have said to me, oh, Toby's following me on Twitter, or oh, he sent me a message. And that's the sort of thing that I think with the right people in Web3, Andrew Wang's another one who is just excellent at communication with people. If we can get enough of those people into the high up positions of being influencers, I feel like we're onto a winner. And I think you're right with what you said earlier, which is that it can be really hard and stodgy if you sit on NFT Twitter. Obviously we've got the Kevin meme from Pixelmon at the minute, which is
we
rife.
Love Kevin.
He's on the wall. Big up, Kevin.
Right above your head.
But genuinely, it's mental how, the day after, and I mean a day, there's Kevin Mon, there's Kevin Dow, there's Kevin Dudes, Kevin MFers. And it's funny to a point, but when you realise that if you're coming into the space new and you might not have the context on Pixelmon essentially being a $70 million rug, and again, I'm sure they'll eventually flesh out and build something more. Yeah. You buy into that and you spend half an ETH or an ETH.
If people are buying into Kevin Dow and all these Kevin derivatives, thinking that it's the next big thing, then they've only got themselves to blame, in my opinion. But tracking back a little bit from what you said a moment ago, I think our whole mantra is with the pod, with both of our Twitter content and the things that we do, is really about promoting genuine people within the space. Yes. And really trying to get that to shine through, because there is a lot of crap out there, and there's a lot of rugs, there's a lot of cash grabs, there's a lot of unsavory people, there's a lot of really, really negative people as well. That's one thing that's really stood out for me recently, that there's some people building their brands around just fudding projects, or just being really negative online all the time and really bringing people down. And it's really saddened me when we've got really genuine nice people in this space, people that we've had on the pod like Toby Lasso, like Eddie is Kong, like numerous others that I can mention who who find it who it affects their mental health, and they have to kind of step away for periods of time because they get so much grief from people on the internet. So I'm glad that we can kind of champion the good guys. I think that's why I was so happy to meet Nemus. They're a really good bunch with a really good project. We're going to definitely get them on the pod at some point soon, to talk about it in a bit more depth and go through it. And we want to get more people like that. That's the kind of people that we're looking for.
And off the back of that as well, one big thing to stand out is that Mike, one of the real big guys involved in Nemus, only has a few hundred Twitter followers, but is one of the most, and I explain why that's relevant, one of the most well-connected, genuine gentlemen I've met, not just in this space, but just in general. And I think in previous businesses that I've been in, or I've got friends who were fairly well-achieved YouTubers, and with the mantra there is, if you don't have the socials that I need, I won't talk to you. The exact opposite attitude needs to be applied to the NFT space, for the simple reason that some of these guys don't care. They're not bothered about having 1 million followers, but their insight is so good.
Yeah.
And I think that the biggest thing to take away in that sense is that, there are so many smart people. And I think that one of the biggest things we need to do and make sure we do as a space is never disregard anyone. Obviously, there are exceptions to that. There are people who are known scammers who will unfortunately continue to make money. But dismissing people based on anything, and I mean literally anything, is just such an ineffective method of business and life.
Yeah, it really stood out for me. I felt it was almost like a bit of a turning point for me, ETH Denver, because I found, as I said, I felt like I found my people. I remember on one of the nights I was with Michael Bianca from Nemus, and we were up in the castle, which was one of the venues at ETH Denver. It was 3 a.m. We were drinking scotch with just some random developers. I was just chatting to this guy about DAOs, and this guy's like the forefront of developing DAOs in the crypto space. So these are the kind of people that are going to be developing our social and political structures going forwards, how big decisions are made in the future. And I'm chatting to him at 3 a.m, had far too much to drink with some scotch. And I think afterwards I was walking out thinking, oh God, I hope I haven't influenced any of this stuff at 3 a.m. after a few scotches, because, there's quite a large responsibility. And I was just talking complete nonsense by then.
That was such a refreshing time for me as well, because I think we went into it kind of working out our strategy. Obviously, the first time we met, and that was an experience, because it's all well and good recording podcasts with someone, but when I stood next to you and you're on the plane and things like that, you never know whether the dynamic will be there. And it was just really nice to be able to sort of make these relationships physical. And we met some people that we've spoken to for a long time, V2.
The legends,
who has been supporting the podcast since day one, and it's so nice to be able to buy him a couple of beers and lose disgracefully at pool to him dozens of times.
Let him win at pool. That is a Jimmy Dale perk. All holders, I will let you win.
But it was things like that where you start to realise that you can get sucked into the FUD masters, and you can get sucked into the shit, where you just end up sitting there going, fucking hell, this is grim. But when you get to meet people in real life, and if you've spoken to them for 6, 10 months or however long, it's so nice to be able to have a chat, grab a beer, and just be people, right? Just still love NFTs.
We had so much fun. Especially what a massive highlight for me with Josh was our little scooter adventure deep into the center of Denver to randomly try and get a soccer ball for you.
I did get a football. I did get one.
But it was literally just beansing it into Denver. The scooters are cool. Yeah, we don't have them in the UK. Our laws are always really
on the road, haven't you?
Yeah, you have to use them on the road, which is just sketchy. But using them, bombing it around on the pavements around Denver was just so much fun. Even if you did nearly die.
I did. I very well documented now. I can't drive a manual car because an automatic car's just using it is easy. So in my head, for some reason, I thought the scooter. I got the buttons confused, and I pressed accelerate when I meant to press brake, and so I accelerated really badly, and it died. Should have been good.
It was just this image of you running alongside your scooter through the snow. Because to bear in mind, people, it was we were flying around these scooters, but it was the day or two after it had done a massive blizzard, so it was pretty icy and snowy out. But no, it was such good fun, and no one died. So which I'm surprised about, but Yeah,
We
it was
didn't mention
fun.
where we were. So one of the other things we did in Denver was went to the first CryptoDads meetup,
Yeah,
which was super cool as well because uh,
weird.
I, it was weird because I feel like we both came away not feeling like celebrities at all, but it was like 30, 40 people coming up to me going, "Hey man, it's Calcio. Nice to meet you, bro." And I was like, "Oh yeah, mate." And it was just quite overwhelming. It was lovely because again,
Yeah.
same thing. Everyone was just really nice and
Did you
welcoming, and
win? Did you win anything
I didn't put
in
my
the
tickets
raffle?
in.
You didn't put your ticket. Cassie is a very charitable guy. He didn't even put his
Right,
tickets in.
but fucking hell, right? So I obviously did a giveaway, right, where I flew someone out to the event, and the guy who won, Mullet Man, who's got the sickest mullet ever, great mullet,
Yeah,
wow,
legend. Yeah,
Santiago. Obviously I paid for him and his girlfriend or wife to fly out, and they were lovely. When they got to the event, what they did is they had a raffle where essentially you could win NFTs, you could win whiskey. These guys cleaned up. They
they
won a
did, didn't they?
dad,
Yeah.
they won a mum, they won a bottle of
And he
whiskey.
won the giveaway. Like, what is that guy like? How has he got his luck so high? Has he got like one of those four-leaf clover or something? What is going on with that guy?
Mate, I'll be honest with you, he's got a lovely mallet. That was what I was focused on. Just
No, I don't think that's luck. He didn't.
It's like, no,
What did he
like
win
Samson.
that? Did he win that as well?
No, but it might be like Samson, you know, with his hair in the Bible, where if you cut
Right.
his hair,
Okay.
he loses his powers.
So if you want to win a raffle, grow a mullet.
Grow a mullet, and yeah, you'll be good to go. So that was cool. And that was nice to see that. Well, Bianca, the lady from Nemus, won a
She won a crypto
mum.
mum. Yeah.
Which
See,
is
that's
so cool.
again about meeting people. Like we met them in the queue. So we met them in the queue for waiting for V Squared to get his COVID test to get in, and we were chatting about things. It was like a 3-hour queue. And we chatted about CryptoDads, and then they ended up coming to the CryptoDads event. So, which was quite far, sort of outside where the actual ETH Denver event was. So they travelled together.
And that was a nice experience as well because I feel like that was our first community that, and even now, like, you know, whatever happens with the project, whatever happens with any project, that's still the
It was
one
a
where
really
we
good
probably would
turnout,
say,
wasn't it?
yeah, and that's probably where we'd say, at least I know you would as well. Like that's your homestead, whether you know.
So I went to a couple of other of the I gate crashed a few of the NFT meetups whilst at ETH Denver. Basically, Mike being really well connected just got us in everywhere, and I have to say, out of all of them, like the Crypto Dads one was the one that was proper popping, and it was the one where people were proper gassed to be meeting each other, having a really good time, and stuff, and really well organised. The venue was cool. Apart from it didn't have any beer, so I ended up having to drink.
Energy drinks.
I ended up drinking. I just bear in mind I don't drink any energy drinks. I ended up drinking Big Dad Energy and vodka most of the night. And after about 6 of them, I think my knees were knocking, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to stop drinking these now. I think the entire night I was up like with palpitations, like trying to not able to get any sleep. But it was totally worth it.
Well, that you nearly led to me being killed potentially. So the story there is just a quick interlude. I'm a big Newcastle United fan, best football team in the world.
Oh God,
that's not true. Massive Newcastle United fan. This was the first away game I've missed of the season to be out in Denver. We were playing West Ham, and I wanted to find some way to watch it, but it was on at 5:30 in the morning local time. So I needed to find a solution. And a bloke messaged me on Twitter just saying, "I'll pick you up and take you to this place." And I thought he meant a bar around the corner. Turns out it was a village 25 minutes away. Anyway, so it's 5:30 in the morning. I've messaged Jim and he said, "I don't feel good. I can't come with you." So blacked out Beamer turns up. I jump in the car without thinking. Risked murder. Did get to watch the football. Got back. We had breakfast. It was great. And then we had our day. But that was an experience. It was unique.
Yeah, I was like, you got to share your location with me because I need to make sure you're not getting like abducted and killed. But he didn't. So that's all right. I wasn't too worried.
Well, if I'd perished, you could have just had a nice time without me, really. So
yeah, it would have been fine. I would have got over it.
We did meet so many nice people. We met Risky and Cliff, Beard Donut,
the legends,
which was lovely. And off the back of that as well, we're obviously going out to whatever the name of the event in Florida is in May.
Permissionless.
That's it, and we'll be meeting up with them as well. And again, this is testament to, and it is difficult. I'm not saying that everyone's. Yeah, I'm not saying that everyone's like, you don't have to be super confident though. It's just about the fact that you've got to just talk to people. And that's that's actually the biggest takeaway of the whole thing is even if you feel overwhelmed or you don't know enough or whatever the barrier that you put in your own head, if you just talk to people 9 times out of 10, it will go well. And even if you don't end up making
we've got to talk about that guy in the coffee shop. So everyone's like, this is the friendliest vibe ever, ETH Denver. Like, you could just talk to anyone, literally anyone. Walking down the street, you say hi to everyone. In fact, when I got home, I think I was still saying hi to people, and people give me really funny looks. So it was an ETH Denver thing. But there's one point where the queue to get into the castle, which was one of the venues, was really, really long, and we wanted to sit down and work some content stuff out. So we were like, all right, let's just go hit the coffee shop round the corner, sit down and work some stuff out. So we walk into this coffee shop and there's this guy like immediately there in the doorway, and he's like, oh, hey guys, really, really friendly. So, ETH Denver, everyone's friendly, having a bit of a chat. Told him about what we did. Do you remember what he did? He did tell us.
He had a platform that, I mean, it was quite vague.
Oh, yeah.
You could display NFTs.
It was about curating an NFT experience, wasn't it? On their platform. That was it. But yeah, so we were telling him about what we do. He was like, oh, you got to let's grab a table, let's have a drink. And we're like, okay, cool, that's fine. We all grab a drink. We're just walking off the table, and 2 other guys come in the door, the coffee shop, and immediately go up to him and sort of start talking to him. And he was like, "Oh, right, shit." So it's clearly that he had thought that we were these two guys that he had organised to meet, but in fact we weren't. So we were just both stood there like, "Okay, I guess we'll just go and get a table on our own and carry on doing what we were going to do."
He could have been on the first ever animated NFT podcast, and he snubbed us.
Oh yeah. His whole
for $1 million opportunity.
Yeah, his project. He could have been on, but no, blacklisted now. Although no, he didn't pay for it. You paid for the drinks, didn't he? Oh, well.
Yeah, I fucking paid for it. He was like, "Yeah, I'll pay," and I was like, "No, I'll pay." I don't know why.
Because you're a forceful Brit. It's like, no, I must pay.
I will pay, sir. It's okay.
But that was funny. We did have a laugh about that for a while.
But I guess as well, it's just like nice to have those moments where it just was just a bit stupid. I think it's just like, because we just took the jump when we did the podcast, started doing it a few months ago, we just went, we're going to do this. And we've just run with it since. You just end up in situations that are just totally inconceivable because you just don't, it doesn't make sense. And then you just end up in the middle of Denver, 5,000 miles away with a bloke you've never met.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is really cool. What the fuck is going on?
Well, we did. I mean, it was just a madness. The experience was so crazy. Like, the vibe was so cool. The venues were so awesome. It culminated with us getting VIP at Major Laser in the Temple nightclub. Just like, just like dancing our ass off until like 3 a.m. You singing football charts for the VIP section, and with Gnosis Chain and Lauren and Griff from Give.io, and like people that are mates with like Vitalik and stuff. It was just mental.
That's what I mean.
I loved it. I loved it. I want to go back.
So I did the whole, I don't drink, which is really important, I think, because like this whole thing could have been a bit shit if the people hadn't been like just great people. But sometimes when you go somewhere you're not having a drink, people are like, oh, why not having a drink, blah blah blah. This was the total opposite again. I managed to do a full EDM set until 3:30 in the morning, just drinking Red Bull, just super happy because everyone's having a boogie. It's loud, it's fun, it's just the vibes. No one's being weird or like nasty or like, you go to a club and it feels like really.
You fed me so much tequila.
Yeah, mate, it was a good piece of fun though. And the music, you've had too much tequila, you guys are trying to kill me. But it's fun. It's like, I really hope that the message that comes out of this is, and again, I appreciate the circumstances that we flew to Denver, right? Not everyone can fly to Denver or fly anywhere.
Well,
for that matter.
Put those notification bells on and you might get flown out there by Calcio.
Wag me, baby. Oh, I was going to say we'll fly someone out to that thing in Florida, but then I've got to pay like $1,300 for a ticket now. So
yeah, they've got to pay over $1,000 for the actual event ticket. It's crazy.
But like again, I just really hope the thing that's coming out is how much of a good time we had, and how it wasn't just because it was the two of us, but actually because of the people we met when we were there, both people we already knew and the people we met. And I think that it's really, really, really important to understand that as shit as it can be, with all the rugs and floor prices going up and down left and right, if you find the right people, or just most people to have a chat with, you'll be fine. Like I play Apex Legends with guys from the NFT community pretty much every night at the minute. We have a great laugh.
That's
Doomers. We
why
play
you're
one
not
every
getting
night.
any work done. I'm like, where the hell's Calcio? He's just never bloody answering at the moment. It's because you're on Apex.
Yeah, Doomers and
Right,
I have been made a little Cool Man's Universe clan, which is cool. But then again, it's like the opportunities that come from it. Because what's
where
really
was my
important to
fucking
remember,
invite?
you've been too busy in your dungeon. You're not allowed to play.
Yeah,
But
I'm
it's
busy.
but I think it's the best way of making opportunities as well for yourself. And again, it's not about this at all on its own. But if you are trying to build a brand or build a project or build X, Y, and Z, these are the places that people are most relaxed. Just
Yeah.
playing PS5 or PC or Xbox with someone, or going and just sitting in a pub with them for a couple of beers. That's when you start to make those really organic connections, because it's not all about work, money, money, money. You just end up chatting, and you get to feel friends with the people, as opposed to just we're secretly all here for money, right? Which is the most important, valuable part of it in that sense as well, because for us, we're trying to build a couple of things out at the moment, and we got both great friendships and great business connections, which is a perfect blend.
Yeah, absolutely. You want me to go further on that, don't you? I couldn't agree more. As I said at the beginning, it's like our whole mantra is about trying to promote the good people in the space, and I don't think we met anyone that I thought was arrogant or I thought was dismissive or who just wasn't up for just having a chat. Everyone was just so gassed about the space, and so eager to learn and to make connections. I just really want to carry that vibe on. I really want to go to all these events. I think it was weird for me because I was like, afterwards, I was like, I literally just need to go to all these events now, and I don't mind even just going on my own, which is a weird thing for me. I've never travelled on my own before, but after doing ETH Denver, I was like, hell yeah, I wouldn't mind doing it. It's fine. I spent a lot of time just wandering off on my own, speaking to people, because I just had such a good time. Right, so we didn't do quickfire questions with Harv last episode.
Yeah,
which still pains me but it's because he didn't trade. But we're going to do them today, so I'm going to do them with you, Calcio. So we're going to start them off, which is what is your worst ever trade?
So my cousin, who does a lot of crypto stuff and dabbles NFTs, told me back in October, like late October, because they minted it middle of October. He said you need to buy NFT worlds because they're a really obvious thing to buy. So I just went, oh cool, they're like 0.1. I think I paid between 0.1 and 0.17, and I bought 10. And I couldn't understand how a glorified Minecraft mod was ever going to bang. This is just the truth. So I sold them all 10 of them for under 0.5. So yeah, selling 10 NFT worlds for under 0.5 ETH each was 100%.
That's all right though, isn't it? So it's still profit, but just like we had Toby on, didn't we? And his was selling all his Bored Apes for 0.2, and he was proper gassed about selling all of his Bored Apes at 0.2 each. It's like, let's fucking go. But ouch. Potential to make money there lost. Go on, let's brighten up your day with your best ever trade.
My best of a single trade was probably my mutant. I paid, I think, about 8 ETH for it and sold it for 23 or 24.
Nice.
So, not bad.
That's the story, kids. Money makes money.
Yeah, boy.
I've got to remember what the other questions are now. If you could send a project to a 100 ETH floor, which project would it be?
Probably because it is fresh in my mind, and I really like Harvey as a bloke as well. I sent blocks to 100 ETH as well.
Oh, nice.
That would definitely be my answer. I think to expand on that, if you don't know anything about blocks, go listen to the last episode. It's really good. Not because of us, because of Harvey.
I like that.
Good promo there. Do you like that?
Yeah,
but dead seriously, so one of the biggest things about the project that really got me excited was that it was a limited run. So it's only 1,000 pieces. It's not just convoluted for the sake of money earn. It's got really unique metrics to it, i.e. there are 50 different artists that have worked on it, which makes it really special. You've even got like Harvey's family working on it, which was really like.
You did say you were going to get all of Harvey's Grand's blocks. How's that going?
So I have got a few at the moment. I'm not going for a Nan piece yet, because the Nan piece floor is like it's like 10 ETH.
Is it?
I love Harvey's Nan, but what I'd rather do is fly up to Scotland or drive or even walk and then go out for like tea and scones with Harvey and his Nan. That's what I'd rather do. Yeah. Treat them to some shortbread or something. But yeah, that's it.
Just a generous man. I'm looking forward to seeing Harv. We're gonna hang out at NFT NYC. and grab a beer. So I'm looking forward to that. I skipped a question, so I'm going to go back to it, and that was, what's your rarest reveal? Now, he always moans that he's a shit minter, but then he pulls out these big...
No, I am a shit minter.
Laser eyes and...
No,
diamond
I don't.
shinies. And...
So actually my best, in terms of profit, was Elliot bought me a loaded lion, which was Kronos's, the Crow Chain's first big NFT that they launched themselves. It's $200 to mint one. I sold it for $17,500 about 3 or 4 weeks later.
But
I didn't reveal it though.
Yeah.
I didn't mint it.
All right. On ETH then.
Actually, no. My best mint actually probably would have been I minted one of the artist pieces from Blocks. I can't remember which artist it was. I'm going to be super honest with you, but I minted one of those, sold it straight away, and then bought C3PO.
Nice. What did you sell it for?
I think about 1.5 ETH, something like that.
You did all right there. Yeah, I got a Kate Sis collab, and I sold that one on.
How much did you get for it?
0.5.
Oh, did you not sell straight away?
Wait, I listed, but no one wanted it. for the price, so I knocked the price down until someone did actually buy it. And then I needed the liquidity back. I had to pay my mum. No, I'm kidding. And the last question.
Keep the lights on in the basement.
The last question is, if you could delete one project, what would it be? And not NFT Worlds.
No, I wouldn't. Do you know what? Because the thing with NFT Worlds, fair fucking play. My cousin, as much as he takes the piss out of me now and sends me regular updates how much world coin he's got. The reason I love that project, A, it was free, right? So it was literally free. And B, it's providing genuine value to its holders. So as much as it pains me to look at anything, and I've had to mute NFT Worlds as a phrase on Twitter, not a joke, I would not delete it. I think I would delete CryptoDads so I could steal the idea and put it out myself, because I think that CryptoDads is one of the most iconic IP uses in the space. I wish I could own the brand, because I think that it's so obvious as an idea to just get loads of dads on board. Yeah. It's so brandable as well in the wider space, right? So I wouldn't delete it because I hate it. I'd delete it because I wanted it. And I wanted to come up with the idea to steal it.
Hostile takeover via shift delete.
Literally, yeah.
Nice. Cool. Well, that's a wrap, I think. So, thanks everyone if you've listened this far. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We do want to drive the channel forwards on, get that exposure out there. Anyone you could bring into the Right Click Save family, we massively appreciate it, because we do put a lot of time into it, and we hope that you enjoy the content too. I've been your host, Jimmy T. I'm stealing this bit. Do you want a little final word there, Calcio?
Yeah, just a real quick summariser. Thank you very much for that, host Jimmy. Dead seriously, the content's going to get massive. We are going to change our structure from just releasing on Sundays and just try to get as many episodes out as we can, whilst maintaining the quality. That's really important. So again, one of the biggest things we came away from ETH Denver with was how important it is for us to focus on diversifying who we get on. We still want to maintain the quality, but we do want to, give time to as many variations of project, of creator, of everything as we can. And the drive is going to be really about getting as much out there, but keeping the quality of guests really high. So you should definitely subscribe so you can hear my dulcet tones for longer every single week.
You're not going to get much more of croaky Jimmy. I think this croaky voice, that late night love Jimmy, is should hopefully be cured by the next episode.
Oh, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I've been your actual host, Calcio, and this has been my co-host, Jimmy T.
We're both co-hosts, all right?
Yeah, it's all I've got left. I can't animate. I can't do any of that stuff, so I just hold on desperately to being a host. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, Jimbo. I don't know who our next guest actually will be on. I think it's what we've got. I think
I've done it. I've taken control of the calendar, and I'm trying to juggle it around to get people on at the right times. But should we drop some alpha and just say the kind of people that we've got coming up? Because
yes, go on.
We have some exciting people coming up. We've got Jeppy from Skyverse coming up. We've got people representing the Toys collection, which is going to be dropping soon. We've got potentially Matthew Lilliard from, how do you pronounce that? Lilliard? From Midnight Movie Club, big guy. We've got Vinny Hager. We've got Bianca from Nemus. We've got potentially Jenny Sutto coming on. We've got the guys from Whiskers coming on. We've got massive names in the space coming on. We just had to turning down a few people like Gary V, Vitalik. We said sorry, don't quite have enough time to get you on at the moment. I'm afraid. Elon Musk. He was said we might do a Spaces with him, but I'm not sure if we can get him on a full episode because we're so busy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to speak to him either. Really, he's just too rich for me. I think I feel jealous.
Next week, though, Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, imagine. Right click, say, box out an episode of Putin. What do you think the reaction of the world would be?
Oh my god!
This is all a well-good campaign. Well, I say well-good.
We're just talking about how we're going to get positive people in the space, and then 10 minutes later, it's like, oh yeah, next week we've got Vlad coming on. His new drop.
This is the most extreme guerrilla marketing you've ever seen.
Yeah, my God. Right, let's back away from this subject. All right, thanks for listening. If you got this deep, congratulations. We'll catch you on the next one.
You need help. Bye.